today we'll do the topic on lysosome and mitochondria. The first topic that we will deal with is lysosome. As you can see, the figure here, it shows a spherical structure, right? And actually, these organelles are small spherical vesicles, and they also comprise of a single membrane. They are seen to be present in case of animal cells, but plant cell generally lacks them. So that is why they are not present in plants generally. Next is they help in intracellular digestion, right? So any kind of digestion, because of the presence of many hydrolytic enzymes, they can undergo digestion within the cells, and that is how they help in any kind of intracellular digestion. The next point is on the same particular topic, or the same point itself. The reason why this organelle is also known as digestive bags, as because they contain all the hydrolytic enzymes, those that are required for digestion, right? And when they digest any material, lysosome gets fused with that particular structure, with that particular vacuolated structure, and then they release all these enzymes into that vesicle or vacuole like structure, and then they complete the digestion process. So that is why they are termed as digestive bags. Now, they are also known as suicidal bags. In certain cases where cells get damaged, maybe because of any reason, injury or any kind of reaction, inflammatory reaction, cells might get damaged, and then lysosomes, they release the enzyme and they finally digest the cellular components. Just because they can kill and digest cellular components, they are known as suicidal bags. Now, in the next slide, we can see the structure of the lysosome clearly. So this is what I was discussing about. It is a spherical vesicle-like structure. As you can see here, it has got a single membrane structure, and hydrolytic enzymes are present inside so that they can help in digestion process. Even at the time of death, in case of getting the cell damaged, they release these enzymes and finally digest the cellular components or entire cell itself. So that is why this organelle is known as suicide bag. The next slide is on functions of lysosomes. The first point is destruction of foreign particles. Now, this is the way that they defend themselves. Each and every cell can defend themselves with the help of this particular organelle, as if any foreign particle, let's say a pathogen, it can be bacteria, it can be virus. So if they enter, these organelle will destroy them, cause their destruction. And that is how they are going to provide protection to the body. The next point is it helps in intracellular digestion, as we have already discussed in the previous slide, that they contain hydrolytic enzymes, and when any substance is brought inside the cell, it can fuse with that particular vacuolated structure and release the enzyme, finally digesting all the components that are present within the structure, right? The next is that they help in cleaning, because as we have already studied that if the cell get damaged, then it can release its enzyme and finally help in digesting the cell itself, or any cell debris also. They can help in removing dead as well as worn out cellular organelles. The next topic is another organelle, and that is mitochondria. Here in the picture, as you can see, a very small picture is given above. With this structure only, we can realize that it is a rod shaped, a sausage shaped cell organelle, right? And this is the organelle that helps in aerobic respiration. We know what respiration is. We have studied in our earlier classes. Respiration is that biological process which helps to digest glucose, which helps to break down glucose and liberate energy, right? So that is respiration. And respiration can be also divided or categorized in two ways: aerobic and anaerobic. That means aerobic means in presence of oxygen, and anaerobic means in absence of oxygen. So mitochondria helps in aerobic respiration. The next point is it is present in all the cells, right? But it is seen to be absent in case of RBCs, red blood cells, right? The next point is that as energy is produced within this particular organelle, it is known as the powerhouse of the cell. The next point is that as we know, this organelle is known as the powerhouse. Energy is released. Energy is released in the form of ATP. So this ATP is actually adenosine triphosphate. So energy is released within mitochondria, and that is in the form of ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. ATP is also known as energy currency. Why? Because if any work has to be done, then it is that ATP which is required. So that is why, like when we go to buy something, we need money to buy that. Here also ATP is acting like that. So if we want to do any activity, that time we will require ATP. So it acts, or it is known as energy currency. This structure is actually a double membranous structure, right? If we see the diagram above, we can clearly see that there is an outer membrane, there is an inner membrane which is folded. We will see in the next slide a clear structure of mitochondria. There we will again discuss all these points again, right? So it is a double membranous organelle. The next is, as I was talking about the inner membrane gets folded into finger-like structure, and these structures, as you can see in the figure, these finger-like structures, projections, they are known as cristae, right? Mitochondria is seen to have DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, its own DNA, ribosome, and enzymes present in it, right? So as I was talking about the structure, so this is the slide where we will see the entire structure of mitochondria clearly. So here you can see it has got an outer membrane, right? It has got an inner membrane, greenish in color, that is the inner membrane. Outer, orangish, reddish in color, that is the outer membrane, right? Inner membrane has got folded, right, into structures which are known as cristae. It is also containing its own DNA, ribosomes, as you can see the green balls, green small dot-like structures, those are ribosomes, and finger-like projections are called as cristae, right? And in between the membrane, the outer membrane, the inner membrane, there is a space, right? That space is called as intermembrane space. Now, let us talk about the functions of mitochondria. First, it is the site of aerobic respiration. That means here, respiration which requires the involvement of oxygen takes place within this organelle. It provides ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the energy which is required to perform any activities. That is why this ATP is known as energy currency. The last point is that it provides intermediates for synthesis of chemicals, right? And chemicals like acids, steroids, right? Amino acids. So all these products, their intermediates are synthesized, and that is how we come to the end of this slide. Thank you, everyone.